What an experience to see a leopard challenging a hyena for a free meal. We arrived at Sabi Sabi Private Game Reserve out in the morning on a morning safari, and we found a leopard in a tree close to a dam. And about 100 meters away from her, there was an impala, a dead impala, who looked like he died of natural causes. It wasn't hers, because if it was hers, she would have dragged it under a tree. And the vultures were feeding on this thing, and the frenzy was bound to draw attention. And eventually she started getting a bit restless in the tree, so we went off and we waited at the carcass, and in she came bolting in to try and get to this carcass. And as she got in there, chased off all the vultures, thought, here comes the feeding aspect. And without even having a chance to take a bite, she looked up and a big hyena started making its way down, pushed her off the kill and started to pull the kill away and feed on it. So here we've got the hyena's just stolen a kill or a dead impala from this leopard. What a crazy sighting. Now, for the most part, if we look at research says that a female leopard will, because of size, the winner is always going to be the hyena. And at that point, normally what would happen is, if a leopard were to kill something, the hyena would chase her off. She wouldn't even have a chance. And some of the latest research is even saying she would kill and leave a carcass there to get the following hyena off of her backside. And she would go off and kill again. Where we're sitting here is this leopard just stood around and decided to move a bit closer. And then the weirdest thing started to happen. She started challenging for this kill. She was trying to get this kill back. And it was insane to watch. She didn't do it once, she didn't do it twice, she came back about 7 times. Different locations, hyena kept on dragging it away from one spot to another to get this all going. Eventually the hyena dragged it off to some water and was busy feeding on it in the water, and it looked like, for all intents and purposes, the gig was up. The leopard is very unlikely to follow the hyena into water because the cats just don't like water. And it all stuck around and everything was cool, but eventually the hyena dragged it off again and out. We went around and the next thing the leopard was back in, trying to pull this carcass away. And they were right by the dam wall, and there was a culvert going under the road, and the hyena and the leopard were playing this tug of war, pulling one end, leopard fighting the other side. Eventually the strength of the hyena started to drag and went under the culvert, was pulling the leopard with it all the way under the culvert. All we saw was this little tip of the tail at the top, and looked the other side, and suddenly it was out the other side being pulled back. And all of this back and forth was quite incredible until the time that the leopard eventually realized that it wasn't going to get anything. and it went back to the water, and it actually found a chunk of meat that had been left in there. She could smell that chunk of meat. So she took her little prize, much smaller than the whole impala, went up a tree and enjoyed her meal. What a crazy sighting to watch the wheels turn and the scavenger trying to be scavenged upon.